and joining us for the weekend. Thank you, Yvonne. We believe Chicago is the epicenter of innovation and a great food capital of the world. Having the staff dedication ceremony coincide with Chicago Gourmet is the perfect welcome to our weekend of culinary indulgence. Today, we honor these legendary chefs who have inspired so many of today's culinary experts. Chicago Gourmet spotlights Chicago as a world-renowned dining destination. The legacy of these 5 chefs live on in the work of the culinary stars. Thank you for joining us in celebrating their lives and work. Now, I'm going to turn it back to Monica and Louisa, who will introduce today's special guests. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sam. At this point in our program, we'd like to take a moment to recognize some special guests here today. As we call your name, please stand, and everyone else, please hold your applause until all the names are read.
Our first special guest today is Ruth Lewis Smith, sister of Edna Lewis.
We also have with us Afaworki Paulos, who's the son of Edna Lewis.
Also Stephen Chen, son of Joyce Chen.
We also have Yvonne Ross, who's the director of sponsorship and special events at the James Beard Foundation.
And Jason Seiler, the artist whose digital illustrations appear on the stamps we are dedicating today.
Representing the office of Mark Kirk, Senator Mark Kirk, is Daniel Bauer.
Dr. Cheryl Gans, curator of Philately Emerita, Smithsonian National Postal Museum, and a member of the Citizens Stamp Advisory Committee.
Finally, Tangela Bush, acting postmaster of Chicago and members of the Chicago District Leadership Team.
Thank you all for being here with us today. Now, applause, please. Thank
you. Now it's our pleasure to introduce our next speaker. You probably already know her, Stephanie Izard, executive chef and partner of restaurants here in Chicago, Girl and the Goat and Little Goat.
Girl and the Goat was a 2011 James Beard Best Restaurant nominee.
A graduate of University of Michigan and Scottsdale Culinary Institute, Ms. Izard has worked in some of Chicago's most respected kitchens, including Latache, Spring, and Vaughn.
Plus, Ms. Izard is the first woman during season 4 in 2008 to win Bravo's TV's Top Chef.
She's also the only winner of the original version of the show to take the title of fan favorite.
And the author of Girl in the Kitchen, released in the fall of 2011, Ms. Izard was recently appointed to the Macy's Culinary Council and was named Celebrity Chef of CMT Artists of the Year.
We're so pleased she's here today. Join us in welcoming Stephanie.
Thank you for that introduction. It's an honor to be here today. I think it's so exciting because we have Chicago Gourmet going on this weekend, which just keeps growing and getting better every year. We just found out recently that the James Beard Awards are coming to Chicago next year, and having the U.S. Postal Service choose Chicago as a place to unveil these amazing celebrity chef stamps just makes it feel like not only is the whole country celebrating chefs, but right here in Chicago, people are talking about food, talking about chefs, and just really finding reasons to celebrate the things that I personally love. So I'm thrilled to be here today, not only to honor, but really to thank the chefs that were chosen to be on the stamps for paving the future for folks like myself who can now have diverse menus. We can really present show our love to folks in many different ways, thanks to the ones that paved the way for us. I think my strongest connection is probably with Julia Child. She was one of the first people to be on TV showing cooking on television, taking French cuisine, bringing it to America, showing not only that it can be simple and be done in the home kitchen, but also that it can be fun. And if you make a little fumble, it's okay, just laugh it off, it's just cooking. So I'm thrilled to be here today. I can't wait to unveil the stamps. Just seeing them earlier this morning and the warm faces that are on each of them, that's what cooking is all about, is inviting people into your kitchen, the warm and friendly smile. And those smiles are there because we get to cook for people and just share our love with others. So thanks so much for having me today.
Thank you, Stephanie. And now for the moment we've all been waiting for, the stamp dedication.
It's our pleasure to introduce Preetha Mehra, Vice President of Mail Entry and Payment Technology at the United States Postal Service.
In this role, Ms. Mehra is responsible for an end-to-end visibility strategy and for seamless process for mail acceptance payment and delivery using standardized intelligent mail barcodes, continuing mail tracking, and mail quality feedback in real time. In other words, she makes sure those Netflix get to your house on time.
A chef in her own right, Ms. Mehra also teaches Indian cooking classes in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area, and she said she's going to make me dinner next time I go there.
We're honored to have her here with us today, so please join us in welcoming Preetha Mehra.
To say Monica is very insightful because I was just meeting with Netflix yesterday. How do you know that? All right, good morning everybody. One of my favorite jobs as an office of the Postal Service is to introduce our wonderful world of stamps to you. So I am so thrilled to be here. And here it's a special treat for me because when the Postal Service announced that they were going to do this celebrity stamp dedication, I raised my hand. I said, there is nobody who can do this but me. So you've got to get me out here. So here I am. So, you know, my day job, I manage business mailers. I make sure your bills get to you on time. I'm sure you love that. But really, in my spare time, I run a cooking school. It's called Mystic Kitchen. And I teach Indian cooking to the folks in D.C. And so it's really a thrill to be here. I mean, when I was told I was going to do this, I went and got books on each one of the chefs, and I started making these recipes of theirs, and it just was so much fun. So I'm really here to tell you a little bit about each of our celebrity chefs, because I think that's really important. Stamps tell us stories about personal lives. They tell us about their historic milestones. They tell us about daring explorations. And it's truly an honor to honor the 5 celebrity chefs we have on our stamps today. James Beard, Joyce Chen, Julia Child, Edna Lewis, and Felipe Rojas-Lombardi saw cooking as a source of delight. They invited us to feast on regional and international flavors and were early but ardent champions of trends that many foodies now take for granted. As they shared their know-how, they encouraged us to undertake our own culinary adventures, and American kitchens have never been the same. Imagine your kitchen without soy sauce. So that is why today we are celebrating not only 5 celebrity chefs, but also unique flavors and dishes that, thanks to them, have now become American staples. For example, we have Joyce Chen to thank for opening people's eyes to what good Chinese food could taste like and popularizing it in the United States. In fact, when Chen opened her first restaurant in Cambridge, Massachusetts in 1958, a time when even soy sauce was considered exotic in America, she introduced many patrons to such dishes as Peking duck, mushu pork, hot and sour soup, and beef and broccoli. Beef and broccoli. Beef and broccoli. Guess what's in there, guys? Whoa. And actually, on a personal note, I have to thank Joyce Chen because my favorite cooking utensil is the flat-bottomed wok. And I didn't even know that she was the one who actually invented this. And when I brought the wok first home to my house, my husband looked at me and he said, "We're only 3 of us. What do you need this for?" I was like, "Well, it's flat-bottomed, so you can cook little things, medium things, and really big things. So if you guys don't own a flat-bottom wok, you need to buy one, okay?" Okay, now let's talk about Edna Lewis. Soft-spoken, insistent, champion of using absolutely fresh ingredients. From lard, she rendered herself to buttermilk made from the milk of her own favorite cows. by introducing simple Southern menus that included dishes like fried chicken, biscuits, and peach cobbler to fine restaurants. This grand dame of Southern cooking convinced Americans to take a second look at Southern food. Fried chicken. Who doesn't love fried chicken? Don't raise your hands. You all love it, you just don't admit it. And where would the profile of Caribbean and South American cuisine be without Felipe Rojas-Lombardi? Renowned for his creativity and culinary adventurousness, Rojas-Lombardi encouraged people to experiment and take chances in the kitchen with dishes like tortilla de papas and shrimp ceviche. He actually introduced the tapas concept to America, which is so huge today. We also today celebrate James Beard, the pioneering teacher and author who inspired generations of amateur cooks and professional chefs alike, and was a strong advocate for local ingredients and markets. He incorporated those ingredients in his iconic recipes for macaroni salad and egg and onion sandwiches that have become staples in today's picnics. The quintessential American cook, Beard popularized cooking and made people feel comfortable at the stove. Macaroni salad. And last but not least, no one has had more fun in the kitchen than Julia Child, who was the public face of American cooking for more than 40 years. Thanks to Julia, we know now that we too can make difficult dishes like beef bourguignon. I love saying that word, bourguignon. Right in our own kitchens. I've always admired Julia Child's cooking style. Her philosophy, like mine, is that meals should be an experience. Indeed, she once said, "Nothing is too much trouble if it turns out the way it should." Beef bourguignon. Featuring digital illustrations by Jason Seiler, these stamps depict the 5 celebrity chefs in a style that resembles oil paintings. The design on the edge of the stamp sheets represents a white china plate resting on a fine linen tablecloth. Beginning today, the images of these 5 celebrity chefs will be carried on letters and packages to millions of households and businesses throughout America. And keep in mind, these are forever stamps. They'll always be good, even if the price of postage changes. Most of all, though, let them be reminders of something that James Beard, Joyce Chen, Julia Child, Edna Lewis, and Felipe Rojas-Lombardi always knew, which is that the art of cooking is an art that is best shared with others. So now I would like to invite our other guests to join me in this lasting tribute to the 5 celebrity chefs who shared with us the delight and excitement that good food can bring.